What that meme say? Oh shit. Here we go again. I just feel like this is one of them moments where you, you're not mad about the Lakers losing. You're not worried. But it's like, really? To the Nets, of all people, the Nets. But those are the type of games we've been losing for the most part. It's like weird games that you shouldn't lose, even if you are, shorthanded. The way the Lakers played today, and I didn't even watch the whole game because I was doing some work and I was training some kids. But like from what I did see and what I did my research up on, we shouldn't have lost that game. But it looked like we were careless, and Luka and Austin just didn't have a good night. Um, our bench played really well, but we couldn't guard anybody, and we were careless with the ball. We didn't rebound well against one of the worst teams in the league. A team that's bottoming out. You know what I'm saying? And you know what? It also this game made me realize about the Lakers is that LeBron James is still the best player on the Lakers, even with Luka. And I'm gonna tell you why. Not so much just because he can score like he can score, even though he can do those things. He can score like Luka can score. He can pass like Luka can pass, right? He can do all those things Luka can do. But he also is still pretty damn athletic. He also can still play on both sides of the ball. I remember watching one play tonight where Cam Johnson just can't caught the ball, fumble with it a little bit off a deflection, went right past Luka. Luka did some Olay shit, and he let him go right by him. Right, even at 40 years old, Braun would gives more effort, right, and plays better defense than Luka does in his prime. And JJ said something really interesting tonight, where he said that this was one of a really low communication game for us. And Braun is one of the best communicators there is when it comes to defense and even offense, and get people where they need to be, and putting people on a string. And you could see that lack of leadership and um, communication. It wasn't there, right? And then they also say how Dorian Finney-Smith is a great communicator. He wasn't there, right? You really miss more than Braun, of course. You miss Rui, you miss Dorian Finney-Smith, you miss Jackson Hayes, you miss all these people, but you definitely miss LeBron. And I think with LeBron, you win that game. But without him, man, it's tough because we all know that Luka because we all feel comfortable with Luka being there when LeBron is out. But if LeBron is not going to be there, then you need a dude like Austin Reeves to step up. But you also need a dude like Austin Reeves to step up on defense when you don't have Dorian Finney-Smith, and then you don't have Rui, you don't have Hayes. You need these other dudes to step up defensively. You need your ball handlers to handle the ball. Even though the Nets were throwing this blitz at them and throwing the doubles at them and being scrappy, I get all of that. I get all of that. But like if you just look at the numbers, the numbers tell the story, right? The numbers tell the story. This should tell you something right here. Gabe Vincent was a hot man. He was very efficient. Actually, played a really good game. But this was your leading score right here. But look at the numbers, and it tells you everything you need to know. Look at everything you need to know, man. We got out rebounded by the Nets tonight. They had 16 offensive rebounds to our 8. That tells a story. They doubled the offensive rebounds. They had 10 steals to our 4. They had more blocks, right? Lack of rim protection. Trey Jemison and Alex Lynn has to be one of the worst big man lineups in America ever. How many points did they get off of our turnovers? Well, actually, you know what? I'm going to be quite honest with you. I can never remember if points conceded off turnovers means this is what we had off of them or this is what they got off of us. I always get that mixed up. Anyway, 13 fast break points. They went even with us with points in the paint. We fouled them more, right? The largest lead that we had was 15. We were winning majority of the game. They had a big second quarter. But the places that matter, we struggled. Too many turnovers. I think we had 15 turnovers, so that's 7, right? They out rebounded us. They shot not pretty well from the 3-point line themselves. They shot 30 free throws. I mean, we fouling too much, and then they out rebounded us. All the areas that matter. All the areas that matter. And again, no way this many people on the Nets should have been scoring like this. Look at this. Keon Johnson had 18, 6 for 10. Nick Claxton, 6 for 7, only missed one shot. He eating around the rim because nobody there to stop him. He went for 12. How many rebounds? He only had 6 rebounds. Then Cam gave you 18, 6 for 14, with 2 for 3 from the 3. And then you got Noah Clowney. He hit a bucket that really put it away at the end on the side out of bounds play. He gave you 19 on 5 for 11, 6 or 7 from the free throw line. And then you got Tyrese Martin. Don't even know who that is. Gave you 14 off the bench, 5 for 14, 4 from 8 for the 3. You see what I'm saying? So, like, not only did you realize that LeBron is still the best player on this team, but you really missed LeBron's defense as of late, Dorian Finney-Smith's defense, Rui's 3-point shot. Like, we missed all of these things where we missed them in general. But this was a game where you missed them for sure, because no way these dudes should have been able to, right? You got, what's that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got 5 people in double figures. You didn't stop anybody. And then your offense stunk too. Look at this. This is your starters. Alex Lynn, only 13 minutes, 0 for 1. He had 2 rebounds and 2 assists and a turnover and a block. Gabe was hooping. Gave 24, 8 for 12, 6 and 9 from the 3, 2 free throws. Luka, 8 for 26, 3 for 10, 3 for 4 from the free throw line. Had a triple double, but it was an ugly ass triple double. What is that from the field that he was shooting? He was shooting 30.8% from the field, and Austin was 3 for 14 for 21% from the field. 1 for 5 from the 3, 10, 11 from the free throw line. That's how he got 17. Right, that was really half of how he even got what he got, because without that, he would have really stunk up the joint. And he had a double-double. But you needed these two to have a good game to win this game. And then between Luka and Austin, they had half of the turnovers. They had 8 of the 15. Nobody else had more than 2. Then you got Jordan Goodwin giving you some great minutes. He gave you 17 points. So what I learned from this loss is that LeBron is still the best player on the Lakers, because he does it on both ends. He communicates. He plays defense at a high level still. We're not the same team without Dorian Finney-Smith and without Rui. Obviously, we knew that, but we really aren't the same team without both of them. You need at least one of them to feel good, right? Vando can't shoot the ball. Vando is an energy guy. He can play defense. He can guard the best person, but you still need enough scoring out there. He can't shoot the ball like that. He can't score like that. You can try to get some stuff going for him, some easy stuff at the basket, but he can't shoot free throws like that either. So it's just this team without our depth. It's exposing things that we already knew existed, but it was okay because we are so deep on the wing. We have this length, we have this grit to us, but without certain dudes in there, it just makes you realize certain things more, right? You miss certain things more. You see things from a different angle without LeBron, because you see, oh, he is still the best player. Luka is an all-star and a superstar. We get that. We're not disrespecting him. We're not going to jump off the bandwagon just because he's struggling a little bit. We're not going to do that. But I'm just saying, LeBron is still the best player right now at 40 years old. Dorian Finney-Smith is a true glue guy that makes us better than, that makes us even better, right? Luka still has those flaws. He has to work on his defense. He has to work on his conditioning. He does. Even though he still has to work on that. He has to give even more effort on the defensive end. And JJ said that we can't take shortcuts, and he can't take shortcuts. Right? Austin got to challenge himself on the defensive end. These are just the truths, especially if these dudes are going to be out for a second. Because when you talk about our upcoming games, it doesn't really get easier. I mean, look, you got Milwaukee. They're hungry. They need a win. And you're in Milwaukee. right? I just watched them lose to Cleveland. They losing all the top teams in the East, so they pissed. So they ready to play. Denver, they pissed about what you did to them last time. They're not gonna go. Phoenix, that's a hungry team that needs wins that keep losing close games. They're not gonna give you anything. San Antonio, they're no grouch, they're no slouch, right? They're not. They're we should be able to beat them, but I wouldn't be surprised, right? Then you got Denver again. Then you got Milwaukee again. Chicago isn't half bad, right? They aren't great or anything. Should beat them, but that's a very game we could lose. Now LeBron is hopefully supposed to be back by this time, somewhere in this range. That's the goal, right? Or hopefully like this Orlando range. They say 1 to 2 weeks at the max. So hopefully he back by this point, all right? And he got a time to finish out. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 games. If he can be back around this Orlando game, right? Because that's also a game you could easily lose if you bullshitting, right? So it doesn't really get any easier. Now we got New Orleans, they stink pretty bad, but you still got Zion playing really well lately. You got Chicago, right? You got Indiana. Like these are winnable games. You got Portland, you got Houston a couple times. Even though they bust our ass the last time we played them. Like, even though you could win these games, you could very easily lose them because, hell, we just lost to the fucking Nets. Especially when you talk about some of these key dudes being out, right? So I don't think it's anything serious with them. I'm not going that far. I'm not trying to say that. But I'm just saying you do see the flaws when you don't have these certain people on the court. And you see other flaws within people that are on the court that are usually able to be masked when LeBron and Dorian Finney-Smith and Rui and Jackson Hayes are on the court. You don't see you can kind of hide Austin's inability to guard. You can kind of mask Luka's inability to guard. You can kind of get by with Luka or Austin, or maybe even sometimes both of them not having a greatest shooter night because you have LeBron. You got Rui hitting shots. You got Dorian Finney-Smith hitting some shots sometimes. Right? You can kind of mask that. You got Jackson Hayes at the rim as a lob threat that can get easy buckets for you. But when you don't have those elements, it's on Luka now. It's on Austin. It's on right. That's who's gonna have the ball. And it just made me realize, man, LeBron's still the best player on the team. And when you talk about the upcoming schedule, I think we can win these games, but it's gonna be very tough without those guys. And I wouldn't be surprised if we get ready to drop a few more games. Don't want that, but I wouldn't be surprised, man. But I think Luka's gonna rise to the occasion on some of these games. I think we can get Phoenix. I think we can get San Antonio, right? I think we can get one of these Milwaukee games, one of these Denver games. Chicago, we can get that game. Right. So I think he'll rise to the occasion on some of them, but I think we're gonna struggle in a few as well, just being realistic. Um, it's something to keep your eye on, man. But I do think LeBron is still the best player on the Lakers, man. And that's the main point here. But I'm gonna end it right there. I love y'all so much, man. Until the next episode, man. I'm concluded right here. That's another episode of Skybox Conversations. I love y'all so much. Peace.